episode. We just went with a couple conversation ideas that we're going to throw at you guys, and we're also drinking some beverages as we always do, nearly always. And we have a beverage from Second Shift Brewery, and it's a hibiscus beverage. It's really, really tasty. I was quite surprised. Right, Roddy?
Yes.
Nice. And we're back. We missed a couple weeks. We just hung out instead of doing some podcasts, but we're back on for tonight. And Roddy has a couple of things he wants to visit about. But before we do that, I had a thing that I had been curious about with his device that he has, and we've talked about this device before. Roddy, do you remember? So it's the vagus nerve stimulation.
Yes.
And yours is where you have the use with a magnet.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you have an implant in your chest.
Yes.
And you showed me you can kind of see it, right? You can see a little bit in the indentation. And Roddy, I believe you at some point had talked about, and obviously you can hear it at times, but it causes you to have hoarseness.
Yes.
Right. And the idea is when you feel one of your seizures coming on, which your seizures are brought on from the origination of your stroke, you swipe a magnet over the implant.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And so I had done just a little bit of research because I want to kind of know some of the stuff that you're dealing with and whys and hows. So basically I researched, and it says that the vagus, you have a vagus nerve on both the right and the left side of your body, which I did not know.
Yes.
And that your implanted device is wired to the left vagus nerve so that it sends signals to the brain and then kind of disperses, and then it staves off the seizure.
Yes.
And then I just looked, and it said the vagus nerve on the right side is not used because it's more likely to carry fibers that supply the nerves to the heart.
Yes.
Did not know that, but I just am always fascinated by how things happen. So the wording on this caught me off guard. I'm like, what does that mean? The right side's not used because it is more likely to carry. I'm like, all right, are you flipping a coin? All right, listen, we're going to say the right side more than likely carries. Like they're not, you can tell that they're not entirely sure. It just made me wonder, are they not sure, or does it vary person to person? It's just, I don't know. It's weird, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And the nerve, it's a big nerve.
Okay.
Big nerve.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Did they explain the entire thing like that to you, or they just said, hey, we have something we want to try? What was that like?
Well, it's very, the doctor and the Google, but
sure. Your friend Google.
Yeah. I want to know.
Yeah.
So it's, and it's just, trying, the doctor's trying to talk about this.
Right.
And it's I was thinking it was just one nerve.
Yeah.
But it's two nerves.
Yeah.
So, but it's fiber. This one is the right one.
The right side.
It was just leave it alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was just interesting. I didn't, listen, I had human anatomy in college, and I like study a lot on the human body. And I probably knew it at one time, but I just was impressed with that information.
Yeah.
But, I just like when people come up with these new ideas, hey, we're going to put this inside your body.
Yeah.
We're going to get it to send signals to your brain.
Yeah.
The first guy or first woman to pitch that idea, sitting across the table from other doctors and other, obviously, financiers at some point, we're like, I don't know.
And it's been around for 20 years.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, it's like, that was old stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Old stuff.
I just, I don't know. It's just like when I was having all the issues with my back before I had my surgery, they were talking about this device that they would implant in my back. And it basically changes the pain signal to just a vibration signal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit, I would have taken that 10 years ago. I mean, if you would have told me.
Yeah.
And Roddy, I think I told you I was a day or two away from, I went to my last visit. And the doctor, the lady that was going to do it was just like, I'm not really comfortable with this. You're way too active. You're going to lose some of your flexibility because of the wiring that goes to different places. And luckily, you know, I just said, well, if you have someone you could recommend, and it turned out great for me. I got a great doctor that did the surgery, and I've had a great recovery from it. But just the mechanism itself of and changing a signal from pain, severe pain, to just a vibration.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling.
So
that again, was weird, the person sitting at a table said, "Hey, I have this little gizmo I'd like to show you." Yeah. Well, what's it do? Well, if you allow me to implant this near your spine, what I would like to do. Yeah. It's like, screw you, not signing up for that. Yeah. Anyway, here's one funny thing I will tell you about that whole experience is to get that device, I had to take a 2-hour psychological examination. I had to answer just a ridiculous amount of questions. I'm going to tell you 2 questions that blew my mind that were on this thing. You ready? The first one was upsetting just because it says, is your mother, do you consider your mother a good person? And then it says, if your mother is dead, was she a good person? And I'm like, could you not have worded that just a tad better? Could you not have said, do you consider your mom a good person? If your mother is no longer living, would you say she was a good person?
So
but no, it literally said, if your mother's dead, do you like, hey, asshole that wrote this question.
You're weird. That was weird because the mental aspect of it is like, what is that? Yeah. And myself, this device is like, it'll be okay. It'll ready to go.
So the second question that was really funny, it said, do you respect the job of a librarian? And I'm like, first of all, my wife, started out as a teacher with me and has progressed through a couple different jobs with the school system. And now she's a librarian. Loves it. Loves it. But in my mind, I'm like, my wife set me up on this test. And if I answer no on this, she's going to fly through the door. And aha, I knew it. But I greatly respect the job that librarians do. But I'm just like, you're giving me a psychological evaluation and you're asking me what if I would have said no? Would that have been a disqualifier for me not to get this device?
Yeah.
It was just a bizarre question. So I walked out of there it was just weird. That's all I can say, dude. All right. Go back to your device. Just one more thing that I wanted to say is I just looked and I was trying to find like success rates and stuff. And it's one of the studies that they did with people that have had these devices. It showed that the seizures decrease more the longer you have it.
Oh, no. Slow down. Do it again.
This study showed, I can't remember, it was 65 maybe to 100 people that have the device you have, says that the longer you have this device, the further it decreases the number and severity of seizures. So for example, average over people that had the device for more than 4 years, the average decrease was 58%.
Wow.
And then for people that had the device 10 years or longer, the decrease was 75%.
Okay.
And I want
my short term memory, I cannot remember what.
So I just wanted to put that out there as encouragement because I know sometimes you're just like, oh, come on. But I'm thinking maybe, hopefully you'll fall in the same plane as this goes on and it just gets less and less and less. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, it's hard to do when you're drinking your beer.
Yeah. And this device, it's different. This procedures there is then there are the people that are the word. Just a minute.
We will wait.
Depression.
Okay.
People that are depression,
Okay.
it's the same thing.
Okay.
So this device could do a lot of people. Maybe you have so much depression,
Yeah.
they could switch it,
Yeah.
and it's like it'll be like I don't remember, but it's like
Level it out, maybe.
level it out,
Yeah.
or to equal out, or
Okay.
or more, just to say, hey, it's leveling out, or it's going to be smaller.
Okay.
Just
So maybe decrease.
yeah.
So you're saying is the device does more than just
Yes.
deal with the seizures.
Yes.
One last thing I wanted to ask you, because one of the things it said it does is causes tingling in the skin, but it didn't say where. I tried to research. So are they saying, okay, the device causes tingling in the skin because of where you have your implant, or does it cause tingling in extremities? So I was just going to ask you, do you remember, and that's just a side effect. It didn't mean everybody get it. Do you have any of that?
No,
Okay.
not myself.
You just really have the hoarseness part.
So it's this device. It's a computer.
Yeah.
But it's 3 minutes. 3 minutes. It's gonna have a firing.
Okay.
And it's just like firing because it's like still living.
Yeah.
Still living. Still living.
I'm
But
here.
it's 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And the side effects is just hoarse.
Yeah.
So it's
And the hoarseness just comes and goes.
it comes and goes.
Yeah. Because you'll be talking for 10 minutes, nothing, and then all of a sudden, whoop.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Right. Okay. So you had mentioned, so we covered what I was kind of getting at, and you had mentioned you wanted to talk today, and I think you said shoelaces.
shoelaces. So this hand or the shoulder,
Right side.
right side,
Yeah.
it was like it's numb.
Yeah.
It's numb. It's like gimpy.
Okay.
It's like gimpy,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like, so I'm like, I was just limp. And it's like, well, you gotta do, the occupational says, you have to do this. Just a minute. So I have to tie my shoes. I'm like, well, I can't do this. Oh, but you will. I'm like, oh, I can't do this. Yeah. Oh no, you're gonna have to do this. I'm like, okay, I try.
I'm gonna go buy some Velcro shoes, asshole.
I'm like, it was like it was hard.
Yeah.
To do this. I'm like,
yeah.
And they will do it like you have to tie my shoes, and then they will tie people like, and then the occupational says, okay.
They'll untie it right there. Oh my God, I lose my mind.
Again. I'm like, what the hell? Now I'm like, you're a tyrant. I'm like, but you have to do this.
Right.
It's rewiring.
Yeah.
It's like a brand new hand.
Yeah.
I have to do this.
New skills.
Okay,
can I ask you this? So you're talking about it's all new as far as manipulating your fingers to do that.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, was it because of your memory issues? Did you remember the motions of tying a shoe? And was the struggle just your finger manipulation, or was it also like, I don't know where this wraps around and this one goes through, or was that already back?
It was already, because it's like I said, it's like it's been 3 years old.
Yeah.
3 years old to do this.
So because you've done it forever.
So many times, it's like, well, that was just. It's just.
Yeah. So you
in
think?
In my brain, it's like, okay, I can do this. It's this, and this.
Do you think if I showed you? I mean, there's more than one way to tie a shoe, right? So you think if I showed you a month ago a different way, would that be difficult for you to pull back and say, if I said, hey, you're tying your shoe type A, I want you to tie your shoe with type B method. Would you be? You think that would happen, or
no?
Yeah,
I got one. I got one. Try.
Are you telling me?
One try.
Are you telling me that Roddy is a one-trick pony?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, but but the fine motor skills.
Yeah.
So I have to figuring out tricking a little bit of knowing is like, okay, I'm still it's still the fine motor skills to doing my lace.
Right. Yeah, tie your laces.
Tie your laces. I was like, okay. So I was like, fine.
How many times would you say you have to do it in a session? I mean, was it just 10?
Now I cannot remember. Assholes.
Yeah. At one point, did you ever want to just say, I'm not doing it again?
Yeah.
I did it. And then they would say, well, for you to leave, you need to tie that one more time.
Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I was like, come on.
So let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you, what do you think has been the single hardest thing you've been asked to do recovery-wise, like tying the shoe or doing this or doing that? What would you say really was just, I mean, I remember like you have the whole set up on your kitchen counter where you have the board and underneath it has bolts, and then you have bolts in there, and then you have the nuts on there, and you turn them to move your wrist and your fingers.
Yeah.
Was that harder than the shoelaces? Is there something that's harder than both of those? I mean,
Well, the number one is my speech.
Okay, right.
My speech, but it's like, it's the hand.
Yeah.
It's the hand.
Yeah. And your hand, like every time I've come out here and you work at the gym and it's, it's pretty cold in there. Members come in there to work out, they get heated, but your hand is cold all the time.
The circulation.
Yeah. And you have a little hand warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you notice if, like, you're working a lot, what about when your blood flows increase because you're working out?
Yeah.
Does the hand seem to not be bothered by the cold during a workout, or is it still there? A little bit?
It's the blood's flowing down.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
So if you were lifting weights or something, it'd be a
Yeah.
little better because you're actually in the middle of doing
Yeah.
something that increases blood flow.
I remember after my stroke, I was in the summer, and I was in my bathroom, a mirror.
Yeah.
And this is like this is A and this is B. A was like, this is my stroke
Right
partner,
side. Yeah.
That's right. And it's like my veins were it's like nil. It's just blood and skin, and that's it. I have veins.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, it's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's like, my veins of my arm.
Yeah.
It's like,
Couldn't see them.
couldn't see it.
Yeah. Compared to your left side,
Yeah.
that they were visible.
Yeah, so it's like, it's just, just a minute. The circulation was just nil.
Yeah.
It was nil. I was like, okay.
What about now? I mean,
it's normal. Like my neck, it was no veins, no nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was freaky.
Yeah.
To know that my circulation was gone.
Right.
Circulation was gone.
That is something, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to ask you. You got a new hat on? Is that new?
No, that's old.
You are a styling and profiling. You always have nice looking hats. Got socks that are rocking all the time.
Well,
Roddy's rolling with I believe it's an Under Armour hat. It's a plaid.
Yeah.
Look out, ladies. Got to be careful. He's got the cute factor way over the top of the chart.
And I had shaved.
Yeah, you're clean shaven. You look like you're 12.
Yep.
You look like you're 12.
Yeah.
Probably need to go get you a library card.
That's right. That's right. But like I said, though, every day doing in my body,
yeah,
my right was like, okay, it's like this, like I said, this is A and this is B.
Right.
And this A was like, it was like flabbergasted.
Yeah.
This is my body. What am I going to do?
After a lifetime of being physically active, fit.
And it's like the shoelaces. I was like, okay, at the gym, I remember at the gym, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to tie my shoes.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, I'm going to have to tie my shoes.
You should have used that as a line to introduce yourself to a girl. Yeah. Said, excuse me, ma'am, but would you be inconvenienced to...
And it's like, tying my shoes is like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes of just figuring out this shit.
Yeah.
It was like 5 minutes. It's like, okay, I think I can do this now. So like,
what if you were like, I'm going to go chop some wood, and you got your hiking boots and they have 32 holes and the laces are all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, I'm going to chop wood on another day.
Another day. That's not funny.
It was a little bit funny.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, what, just through this whole process, what do you think, I don't know how to say this the right way, as far as what are you most proud of, or what do you think took you the most effort from what you've been through from the beginning to right now? What do you and not meant to be braggadocious. I'm just saying, what do you feel like, hey, I really gave a really great effort here, or this is what I'm really proud of myself for sticking with, or, what do you think? You want a minute?
Well, physically, I'm okay.
Yeah.
The right part of the leg, right part of this body, like I said, it was head to toe numb.
Yeah.
Now I can feel a lot of people, like my cheek.
Yeah.
It's improving.
Yes.
So it's like my hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's improving. It's like I can feel it now.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like I said, physically, I'm okay. I'm comfortable with my physiques because it's okay. It's like a little atrophy.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah. And you like your progress that you've made.
Yeah. The first, number one person, my number one thing is my speech. But, after my stroke, is like, what am I going to do with my speech? And I could not, what am I going to do? And I've Googled this and I've Googled that, and it's like, what the hell? And it's rewiring, though. That's the thing, is the rewiring.
Right.
It's the rewiring a new pathways are forming, and it was a long time just to do a sentence or a phrase, and I was very depressed about what am I going to do, and it was like a month. I mean, a year of just what am I going to do this? What am I going to do this? And it's slowly but surely it's getting my my speech back.
Yeah.
It's a battle.
Yeah.
It's a battle to do this. And like I said, it's rewiring, but it's I want to talk about or communicate and to fluent. I would love just to talk to fluent.
Yeah.
And like I said, though, it's really a struggle. But it's because it's like this part of the brain is like a millimeter of just a little bit of meter of just
tiny step. Yeah.
And it's like,
and you want to take mile-long steps is what you really prefer.
Yeah, but like I said, though, I'm improving. Like I said, but I wanted it yesterday.
I know. Well, I will say, I've said this before and I will say it again. The conversations that you are capable of having are as good a conversation as out there, Roddy.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm probably most proud of you about, other than just, still being alive. It's a miracle in itself, is even during all this time of you trying to improve your speech, trying to improve your body, when we did have our conversations, you were always concerned about other things. Like when things were happening in society and you felt they were wrong, you would talk about that. Whether you were able to get all the way through a sentence about it, I'm just talking about your subject matter was always bigger than yourself. I don't know where I would have been. If I were you, I may have been so self-centered on, I got to fix me, I got to improve me. But you're a bigger person than that. You were still concerned about world issues. You were still concerned about politics. You were still concerned about local issues. And first of all, it just speaks to your soul. It speaks to your heart. You're just a great guy. So I'm happy to be your friend. It's a privilege. I'm happy to share beers with you, bicycles, stories, all of that. Yeah. All that stuff. So, hey, we're going to wrap this episode up and we'll come back at you soon. Appreciate those of you that are out there listening. And, our hope is that once again, if you have someone or you yourself have gone through issues that this might help inspire or just ask questions or answer questions, we're hoping that that's something that helps you or someone in your life. And again, I will say, if you wanted to email Roddy, a story or something, instead of posting it on the YouTube in the comments, the email is osaat417@gmail.com. Basically, those are the initials, one stroke at a time, 417@gmail.com. And we'll get those to him. And just appreciate your time. Roddy, I love you like a brother, man.
I love you too.
And let's say goodbye.
Goodbye.